Welcome back to my stream, and if you're just jumping in for the first time, then just welcome, obviously. I'll give this a minute to load and time for everybody to hop back in, because I'm doing this stream straight after the other one, so there's no notification of me going live, so I'll have to wait for people to refresh and hop back in. Hopefully shouldn't be too long. There's Lycan, he posted a link to the low ink version of this sheet. So if you don't have the sheet yet, you can grab it there so you can play along. I have the full color one as well. Does the low ink one also have like the die faces you can copy and paste in here? I think it does. I know I have the full color one in my prep as well, because that's the one I was posting yesterday, but I'm sure this will work too. If you want a prettier one, we can probably fetch it for you, but this should do just fine. This game comes with dry erase boards which you can kind of fold up so that if you're playing with multiple people, they can't peek on your sheet and try to copy you. But hey, I couldn't see Ben at the previous game either, or Jason, because they are obviously on other parts of the world, and apparently I still managed to magically copy them, so... it did not. So here's the right one. If it's too tiny for you, you should remove the part that's after .jpeg, so the width and the height thing can be deleted to get a bigger one if you need it. Anyway, that's the sheet. And what you can see on the sheet is you have one big area, that's a map, and you're gonna have to put roads on there. There's two types of road. You have railroad and you have a highway. This is for cars, this is for trains, and obviously you cannot connect these two together. It's hard for a train to suddenly continue on a highway, and throwing your car onto a train track also tends to drive kind of crappily, so let's not. However, you do want to create one big network of roads, so to connect them you can use these. This will be a station, so here the two can come together in different shapes. And there's also these 6 wildcards. The game will last 7 turns. And once per turn you could use one of these, but only 3 times per game. So only use up to 3 of these and don't use more than 1 in the same round. Alright? These can be rotated, and unlike the previous game, they can also be mirrored or flipped or whatever you want to call that. So you can put any of these in any rotation you want, basically. Any orientation will go. And you have to make sure you either draw them from one of these starting points, and if you look carefully you'll see this one, for example, needs to be a highway, this one needs to be a railroad, and that will alternate. So you can't start a highway here because it starts with a train track, guys. So you can start on any of the sides or continue a track you've previously drawn. So say this was already on my sheet, the next one I can draw here or here, and you can also mix and match that. But don't start in the middle of your board, that's not allowed. At the end of the game you will see how many of these arrows you've connected, and each connection you've made will be points. So if I have, I'm gonna do this real quick and dirty, if I have these connected and then these all connected, then I would have one network of 2 arrows, which is 4 points, and one network of 3 arrows, which would be 8 points. Ideally, you want one big network, because if these were all together, 5 arrows would be 16, 8 plus 4 is only 12, so every separate connection kind of makes you lose out on 4 points. So ideally you want them all to stick together, but it's obviously not as easy as I currently make it sound, because dice are fickle things, you guys. So that's how that goes. You get a bonus point for each of these squares used, because obviously going along the side will be easier than trying to go like this. So that's also bonus points each of these squares used. If you use all of them, that's plus 9. And using old school snake rules, you can count your longest route of one particular type. So say this is all highway, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it can split unlike snake, but you only count the longest ones. You can't be like, oh, I go like this and then I double back. No. You count the longest route, no matter if that's like this or like this or like that, of one particular type. And you will see at the end of the game how I do my scoring, because I'll do that on camera, so that will also help you figure it out if you need me to. And then every dead end is a minus point unless it goes in a wall. So say my sheet is like this, then this is not a minus point because it goes in a wall, but this one goes into nowhere, so that would be a minus point. So try to keep those loose ends to a minimum. And it also goes for if it doesn't connect to anything. So if it's like this, then this is a minus point, even though it connects to a square that has something. The roads aren't actually connected, so this is a minus point and this is a minus point. And that's basically all of the rules. All right, got it? Any questions? By the way, you might be like, what does this star do? It does nothing in the base game. In the base game, we'll just play with these dice. But there's 2 versions right now out, Railroad Ink in red and blue. And each one will come with 2 mini expansions. Blue has rivers and lakes, and red has meteors and lava. Blue is more about connecting bigger routes, like you can put a lake in the middle with bridges so you can cross over it or whatever. The red expansion is more about destroying stuff and having to work around it. They're both interesting. I think they suit a variety of playstyles. You can also mix and match if you have both of the boxes. And they've recently kickstarted yellow and green, and a bunch of small separate mini expansion that can be combined with both. Red and green are red and yellow. No, green and yellow. I'm tired. Green and yellow are actually challenge versions, and they have some more fancy stuff going on as well as this stuff. I can stream one of those sometime. My Kickstarter hasn't arrived yet, but they did offer the sheets to print and play, and they have an online app as a dice roller, so I can possibly do that sometime, but I think I'd prefer to wait for the Kickstarter to roll in so I can play the physical copy. I think that'd be easier, because I wouldn't have all the fancy dice, and I would need to use an online dice roller, so it's a lot more of a hassle. So let me roll. There's 4 dice, and whether you like it or not, you have to use all of them. And you don't have to connect all of them. So I can be like, I put 1 here, and then 1 here, and then 2 here. That's all fine, but you have to put all of them somewhere. And they either have to connect to a road you drew previously, or to one of the starting points. If you want to draw something quick and dirty, you can just be like, 1 line is a rails, and 2 lines is a highway. It doesn't have to be pretty. I know when I first started playing I drew like all the teeny tiny details, and the more I play it, the more I'm like, I understand what I'm doing. Good enough. Which is funny, because if you see me play cartographers or patchwork doodle, I like to draw a lot of detail in those. But then I have colored pencils and everything, so I can work on making it pretty and fancy. And here, for me, it doesn't add much. And this game is a little bit more brain burning, so I try to focus on the puzzle more and not really on the drawing as much. Let's see, where would I like to start my game? And am I just going to do these 4? I'm just going to start with one of these, just for the fun of it. That's a good question. Choices. This one is definitely more AP prone than the last one. Let's see. Middle, not middle. I think I am gonna start with one of the fancy ones, possibly. I want this one, and then this one. So I've used these 2. And I could technically put this one like this. Well, mirrored obviously, but that's allowed. So highway and then rails, and then these 2 would be together. But then they wouldn't have any open ends, so I could never make this route bigger. It would just be a flat out 4 points. So that's not super useful, which means I'm gonna like to make this bigger. I'm gonna go this and this. Which one of these do I want? Let's put this one here. That means I've used these 3. And this needs to be this so that I can draw one of these. And then this is logical to make highway as well. And this can be either rails or highway. I think I'm going to go for the rails. There we go. So that would be 2 rails and 2 of these. That means I've used this one. I remember not more than 1 of these per round. Only 3 per game. So it's definitely early to use one of these. But I wanted to do it. Yeah. Just shout at me if you're slower. I know I was slow this round, so hopefully you're able to keep up. I showed the way you did it last time to Sam and he was like, that's so clever and that's way prettier than I could ever draw it. I'm gonna do it like that. But I don't think Sam is still here. I knew he planned to join for some of it, but I'm not sure if he's also joining the second one. I don't think he is. But oh, you are. You were just quiet so far. That's no worries. Yeah, you always have to draw all of these 4 and then you can use one of these if you haven't used 3 of them yet and you haven't used any this round. Oh, that means I still have to draw this, by the way. I could put it here, but then I think I might want to try to draw one of these instead of one of these here in the middle to give myself more room to connect all of them later. So I think I'm going to do this instead. I can also do that here, but I'll do it here. Actually, it's closer there. I lied. I want to do it here. Once you have locked in your choices for this round, put in the round number. If you don't want to put in a round number, just put an X or a dot or something and mark off the number of rounds somewhere else. But mark those tiny squares so that you know those are from a previous round. Because in the next round, if you change your mind midway through, you can still erase anything that you drew in the current round, but obviously not anything that you drew in the previous round, because that would be cheating. And while you guys are slowly catching up with me, I'm just gonna draw some detail, because why not if I'm waiting on people anyway? Give me a shout when you're ready if you want, and if not, at some point you'll just move on and you'll be like, no, no, no. If you are worried about me maybe rolling dice before you're ready, something I've done in the past is just like put little dots, be like, okay, I need to draw this one and this one and then this one and this one, and then I can still remember what was rolled when somebody changed stuff. Ah, I see 3 readies now. There we go then. These are the new ones. Oh, I forgot to explain this to the people that are new to this game. I'm sorry. You see 6 die faces here. Let me draw a wall in this. 3 of the dice will have these, the regular ones. And then there's 1 die that has these 3 faces. So there's always going to be 1 type of connection. And then 3 types of regular basic road, basically. I'm glad I remembered this quite early on and not just in the last round, because that would mean for you guys. Also, this one is 2 separate roads. There's not a little block in there, so it's not a station. That means the railroad goes underneath the highway, so this is not one continuous route. If you want to connect these 2 together, you're gonna have to try and get them together later on with like one of these things or one of these. This is not actually one connection right now. Important to keep in mind. Alright, choices. Difficult life choices. As you can probably tell, especially compared to the previous one, this one is certainly more brain-burning than the previous game. The heck do I want to do with this round? This is all kind of sucky, to be honest. I don't want any of you. Go away. Fine, I'll do this. I can still change my mind because I didn't write down numbers yet. This goes here. And I'm like, this is a corner. I don't need a corner. Like, what the heck? No. No. Oh, actually, I have a better idea. See, I told you I might erase this. I am gonna put a corner here. And then put the crossroads here. Alright, and then I put this here. And this one can go like this, and then the third end can run into a wall and not be a minus point. I like that. I'm happy with this. Let me draw teeny tiny things. Here we go. Yeah, I'm okay with this. And as you can see now, like I said, you can always start at any of the arrows for a new road, or you can continue anything you've previously drawn. Just don't put anything like in the middle by itself. Round 2, round 2. There we go. I'm ready. And don't be stressed out if you're not, because like I said, it's definitely a slower game and I took quite a bit on my previous round as well. Somehow this one just clicked. Hi cats. And the cats have been wandering through this, but I fed them right before this dinner, so that means they're now mostly like lazing about and not really trying to eat everything. It definitely works better if I stream after feeding the cats instead of before. But yes, when I stream at like 7 p.m., I don't feed them before because then it's too long before they have breakfast. Yes, they do. Hi, Floof. They're now all cute and cuddly. All right, everybody's ready. I think, oh no, Sam isn't yet. And I can just pet cats. Yes, I can. Come say hi, kitties. Almost. Hi, darlings. You can see like 2 hands, but you can barely not see the cats. Come closer, cat. Now you're finally allowed to be in the camera. Oh, you can see one little cat paw here. Hi, Layton. Yes, Floof, they can hear you, but they can't see you. It's like you're invisible. Yes. Oh, you might have seen a little bit of Floof tail just now because he turned around. Hi, darling. I know Beth suggested to just stream the cats at some point. Floof thinks the sound of these dice are loud and scary, so now he ran off. You poor thing, you're so easily scared. Alright, round 3. That's a lot of highway. And also another one of these stupid things. I don't like these, in case you hadn't noticed. I also still don't have any of these, so I might throw this one here soon to get myself out of that situation. I think I would be okay with that. I'm trying to debate if I'm putting this one here or here. I'm definitely just gonna put this here and be done with that. I don't think I've ever used 2 of my wildcards this early in the game. Oh, I almost erased something from the previous round. See, that's the benefit of playing in paint, you guys. That doesn't happen with you. Alright, choices. And this is already connected, so now these are connected, so this would work. Let's do this. You did that. That's one of the dice used. And then this can be the crossroads. And now I can just connect this one to this, and then it will be connected to the other one, because these go underneath each other, but here they connect to a station. So that's one way to get it into one big route again. And then I can tie these 2 up together, which isn't as hard because these are at least the same type. So I can start getting these connected to each other, hopefully. Alright, that's 3 of them used. I have one more straight highway. Why? I don't want you. I'll put you here, I suppose. There we go. And I'm supposed to write around number 5 times because I used another wild card. It's also an easy way to... The round numbers aren't just easy to remember what you're not allowed to erase later, but also to see if you looked over anything. Like, if you're writing down numbers and you're like, I can only find 3 empty squares, then you forgot to draw one of your dice. And yeah, erasing takes longer in paint for sure. That does mean you can't accidentally erase it though. That's for me. If I'm drawing like this, I have to be careful not to put my hand on here because this doesn't dry up all that quickly and then I'll erase my entire road. I think this is looking alright so far. Nice little busy area. Not very good for getting bonus points for the middle squares, but we might get to that later. I mean, this one I can get with quite a few short connections, but I want to get some other stuff here and I might need the middle squares to do that. You're ready? Alright, just like, and then... Keep switching between Lycan and Jimmy, but he's the same person. I know he doesn't particularly care which one of the 2 I use. But I've noticed I keep using both of them alternatively tonight, which might make it easy, which might make it hard for people to follow along what I'm talking about. Also, I'm pretty sure people watching this back might be like, you seem to know all of these people. I do not know all of these people in real life, but some of these people have been around a while and have told me their real names. So most people in my streams recently, I've known their real first names. That's not because they're all my real life friends, although we're getting to be friends. Yay! I really like all of the people in my streams, But yeah, Lycan is one of the people I've known in real life for a couple of years, and he's part of my core gaming group and actually part of my quarantine bubble because I live by myself, so I've quarantined with a couple of friends. We don't live together, but we live super close to each other, so we can like get groceries for one another and make sure we have some social contact instead of not seeing any real life human being for months. Stupid pandemic. Turn 4. Well, this was like the easiest start of a round for me ever. That's these two. Next. Oh, actually, I might put this here instead. Ah, I erased something again. My cat decided my screaming was loud. I'm sorry, cat. You're right. But now I'm doing this and then I can put this next to it. Let's see. This. And I have to still ditch this somewhere. Here, probably? Sure. Future Nona's problem. But this is gonna go here because then it can... Oh, no, actually I can put this in between there. Never mind. I'm stupid. This goes next. There we go. So now we have 3 of them. And then this one goes here. And now I just need one more straight bit. And then this is also connected to the entire large route. This is going quite nicely. And it's round number 4. I'm not sure I mentioned this. I think I did at the beginning, but let me repeat it just... Yeah, I did, because I said you could use wildcards 3 out of 7 rounds. But let me repeat it again. The game is 7 rounds, so we just passed the halfway point now. Slightly over midway now. If you only drew half of your dice for this round, that means you're now nicely at the halfway mark. And I can totally imagine this takes you guys a bit longer, because for me this was such an obvious die roll. It was like pretty much perfect. Hello, adorable sleepy cat. I like you better when you're not trying to eat my entire live stream. Although the viewers might find you more boring like this, but look at you being all cute. You moved! I can make a sleepy face to the camera. He's so cute. I should move this a little closer. There we go. Oh, Jason is all quick as well. Okay, so I need a corner here or maybe a T so that I can extend it. That would be better. And then this one needs to be straight or also a T so I can try to get this connected. But yeah, it was definitely important to mention that only 1 out of 4 dice would be any of those crossroads types so that you don't... So that you aren't hoping for an entire round full of those, because that does not exist. And don't forget about your wildcards, guys, because this is turn 4 already. If you haven't used any yet and you do want to use all of them, then next round for sure you're going to need to start using one, because we only have 3 more rounds left after this, and you can use up to 3 of these. And as you can see, I marked them off, so you can only use each one once. You can't use the same one multiple times. And you don't have to use all of them. You can even use none of them. And I've seen some people mention sometimes that they feel like the sweet spot is 2 of them. And that sometimes if you place a third, you end up with more open ends that you can't really get rid of at the end. But I've pretty much I almost always use 3. And I do feel like I'm almost always using them well. Yeah, I did. I said at the beginning as well, but especially with people playing it the first time, I tried to repeat the rules a couple more times in case somebody didn't catch it the first time. But yeah, these are only 3 total and only up to... And they have to be different ones, and you can never use more than 1 per round. So you can't wait until the last round and then use all 3 of them. So 1 per round, not the same one, and up to 3 per game. And I see 3 readies again. And 1 request for a straight road. I'd be alright with that. The dice are also alright with that. Look at that. How cooperative. I have this one and this one now, which sounds nice, but then this is entirely closed off from the other half of my board. So I'm not sure I actually like that. I don't think I do, honestly. I might go for it. It's good for not getting a whole bunch of minus points. With these dice, I can connect these 2. And then with the other 2 dice, I can connect these 2 arrows. And then my entire board is perfect, and then I'm done. But then I need to play 2 more rounds. So that doesn't actually solve anything. Am I gonna use my last crossroads now? I just might. And the question is here or there. I would prefer both, but that's not how this goes at all. Because I'm like, if I put this here and then this here, then I can connect it all together. Which is not too shabby, but it's nicer to make a really big group here. But this will just be connected and then this does not go with the rest. Aww. This is a tough choice because it does seem like it might actually be best to just close it all off, but then the end wouldn't be so useful. Oh, I also need to remember my longest road. The longest rails is pretty alright, but I can't lengthen that anymore. And this one isn't, yes, kind of okay. I was kind of hoping to lengthen this. That's sucky. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, too late. I feel like currently at the end of this round, I'm like, okay, my sheet is done. It's perfect. Let's quit after 5 rounds. That's not how it goes. I have serious AP now. I don't know what I want. I really don't. Oh no. Crossroads it is then probably. With the risk of this exploding particularly in my face the last round. Can I do it like this or with 3 more highway? Is 3 more highway better? How am I ever gonna connect it? If I use this, I can't. If I use this now, I need to tie these 3 together and that's never gonna be possible. Well, technically with a T and then put and then another T, that doesn't look like it's likely. I don't think this is a good idea. Oh man, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Let's just do this and at least get everything in one big connected area again. Because this goes over here and over here, but then it goes here to the station, which means it's now connected to this spot again. So that will solve stuff. But then I just only placed 1 die yet for this round. I need so many more. And then with these 2, this would be connected, but like I said, I'd prefer to continue. This is still alright though. You know what the problem here is? This is either gonna require, because it's 2 different types, this, or it's gonna require another one of the wildcards. And I've run out of wildcards, which is less than ideal, to put it nicely. So I'm not sure about this. What I am pretty sure about, I think, is that I'm gonna do this. And then this. And then I'm hoping for this T-cross thingy here later so that I can get another arrow into this really big group. However, if I do that, I do close off the really big group. I can't add anything to it anymore. So that's still not great. I don't really want to close off the really big group, if I'm honest. But I also don't think I can do anything else that's really great at this point. And I also really want to use more of these middle squares, but it doesn't look like that's likely to happen either unless I put a crossroads here. Man, I have no idea what I want. I keep erasing stuff this round. Haha, you guys are really cute. I am so not, as you can see and hear. I'm dying over here. I think I'm not gonna try and get these here. I think I'm gonna go for a crossroads though and maybe get arrows that are here and here connected and use more of these middle spots and just keep these as a little separate network of 2. I think that might be my best bet at this point. I can try to get this stuff closer to the others though. Maybe that would be okay. With either this or a straight one. Let's see. This and this then to get these 2 together, because I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I'm not gonna spend 10 more minutes debating this. Alright, so that closes off these 2. That still means I've only used 2 this round. This one and this one. I still have these 2 left. If I'm making this bigger, then I don't necessarily need to make this a T, so I can put this here then. I'd still like it to be a T ideally, but I don't necessarily need to. I can think about this later. I have to figure this out first, and then at least this one still needs to go here somewhere. So I suppose that goes like... I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna leave this one open. I think I'm gonna do this, and then this needs to be the last wild card for me. There we go. I still had that one left, didn't I? Yes, 3 highways and 1 railroad. There we go. Welcome to AP. I'll play through the rails with you guys sometimes. I find that one more brain burning than this most of the time, because it has really weird ways of drawing roads. Also, my road was ugly, so I erased it. I didn't change my mind. I just wanted it to look somewhat better. A lot of stuff would be nice. I mean, this was technically nice if it was the last round of the game, but not with more of them coming. This was 5, right? Yes, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There we go. Good enough. Round 6. What is what is up with all these corners? Well, one of them is alright, but I need these. Well, that's not happening. Alright, you go like this. And I have no more wildcards, so this is going to be interesting. If we don't roll any straight roads next round, I am going to be pretty massively screwed. I'm just gonna do this one like this and risk. This is so not clear and legible. I'm gonna do this here. And the next round I'm gonna need 1 T and 2 straight ones. Well, that's unlikely, but if we rolled all circles, now I'm sure we can roll all straight ones next time. That averages out, right? Totally how the universe works. The good thing about this is it's still 1 minus point for that road, but it's +1 for using one of the middle squares. At least this is nice for getting the bonus points out. Good for absolutely nothing else, but it looks pretty for that. We stars that. Sure. Apparently this is what we're doing. This is never going to be connected to anything, by the way. Let's make that clear. Never gonna happen. I could just put this here as well, just to make it even more obvious that this is never gonna happen and get +1 point. Because here it's just a minus point, and here it would be -1 and +1. I already have the -1, so I don't actually lose anything. I just get another plus. I think that's better because I need too many straight roads if I keep it here. I think it'd be better to put it here. It's still never gonna be connected to anything, but it doesn't lose me any points, so I think that'd be better. For sure. Alright, I am ready. I made up for my super slow previous round by doing this one quicker. I think this is the first time playing this game for some of you, so I hope you enjoy it. This is one of my favorite ones because it's really easy to set up and it's really simple to teach and play, but it's still pretty challenging and interesting to play. Especially considering it's just a beat your own high score type thing with no threshold for, hey, if you beat this, you have an awesome score or whatever. And I do know that the more solo games you play, the easier those can kind of become still. And it's definitely replayable, especially with those expansions added in. I hardly ever use them because then it definitely becomes even more AP prone, but it's... I think if you own less games and you play this a lot more, either solo or with people, then it's nice to still have that to mix it up a little bit more. And I did order the green and the yellow ones as well, and those also come with 2 mini expansions again, and I will have 8. And I did have some separate ones that are like 1 or 2 dice that you could order as add-ons, and I didn't get any of those because I was like, I don't need 4 or 5 more expansions. I'm already debating if I'm ever going to use the 8 that I'll end up with. I think I'll mostly end up playing the basic version of this and then the base challenge version. Ooh, straight roads. Woohoo! I am so happy now. Yay, points. Come to me. Okay, that's those 2. More stuff. Oh man, I just want one more thing on this sheet. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's not actually how this goes. Different type of road. Station. But still, look at this. This is like taunting me. This is like, I'm a rails and this is rails and I can just go like this. Mean. And this is where it's important that I said you can't just draw something somewhere. I can't be like, oh, they put it here. No, it has to be attached to something. So it's just going to be a minus point and no plus point. You can be here for all I care. There we go. 7, 7, 7, 7. Alright, that's it. Hi Brazil. Always nice to see more people hop in, even if it's just for a little bit. Yes, you can absolutely mirror them as well, which is especially important for stuff like this one. Yes, totally possible. Not just rotate. Mirror, flip, or whatever, as long as it's the same type of thing. So it's like, hey, it's a corner and it has one half of it is this and one half of it is that. Totally fine. Alright, tallying points. So we're first going to start by seeing how many arrows are connected. I have one group of 2 arrows, so that's 4 points. And then I'm pretty sure this is all connected because this is a station and we already checked this previously that it connected to a station, so it went back to the big one. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's a total of 28. I so have to be careful I don't erase all of this. 28. And then the longest highway, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it doesn't matter. So it is, no matter if I count it like this, or like that, it's going to be the same amount of squares. Because it cannot double back. And even if this one is only half a highway, doesn't matter. This square has a highway, so I can use it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for my longest highway. And then my longest rails is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as well. And then the amount of squares I've used in the middle, that's 8. And then minus points for all of the dead ends, which I did really well in this particular game. Just -2, which is really insanely low, guys. So don't feel bad if you have a lot more dead ends on your sheet. And remember, if they run into a wall like this, then that's okay. So if they run into the outer edge of the board. So it will be -2. You can try to put -2 in here. If you have a hard time doing that, what I sometimes do is just write a big minus here and then put the actual number in the square next to it, because it's not like I'm using that if I'm not using the expansion, so that might make it easier. Now I have to math. I hate math. Yes, cat, we hate math. 37. No, cat, don't, no, they're playful again. What was I saying? 37 plus 9 is 46. No, don't eat stuff. Ouch, that was my hand, cat. That was not a pencil. Ow. You have sharp claws, dear cat. Alright. Counting. This is not helping, darling. 37, 46. 46 plus 8. 54 minus 2. 52, I think. I hate math. But I think that should be okay. $49, $44. The math can take a little bit, especially if you're new to the game. I do think I have 52 though. I do think I did my math right, so yay for that. And again, like, can you send me scores for my BG stats app? Thanks. Once Sam is done counting, obviously. I moved my sheet out of the camera almost. Great, that saves me some time. I can obviously do it myself because I can also watch back the chat, but usually you have sent me scores before I'm done cleaning up my game and stuff, so yay. So helpful. Well, this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I pretty much always stream the base game. I don't mind adding an expansion if somebody wants to try it at some point. But like I said, we usually have a mixture of new people and people that already know it. And I definitely feel like if you're playing this for the first time, this is hard enough as it is. Not as hard to learn, but I mean, it can be hard to play well. And also, I've played the base game, I have no idea, dozens of times at this point, I think. I think I'm around 30 plays or so. And it's not like it's getting boring or whatever. So even though I think the expansions are fun, I don't feel like you would miss them if they didn't exist. 58 is nice. And feel free to send me that if you want me to double check. I know Lycan has done that a couple times in the past as well. No worries. I will check after the stream, obviously, because I can't open any files you sent me while I'm streaming. But yeah, I can totally double check that for you. Great. Well, I hope you had fun. I could technically do one more game, but I know for Sam and Jimmy it's getting kind of late and my battery on my phone is starting to run low, so I think it might be smarter to call it after this one and end the streams for this evening, especially considering how much streaming I'm still gonna do for the next week. So that might be smarter. I'm glad we were able to play, you guys. Sorry it was a day later than I'd originally scheduled, but that's life, right? So yeah, thank you all for being here, and I hope to see you guys again at one of the next live streams. I know Sam was gonna try and hop in at Marvel Champions tomorrow, which is not gonna be play along, it's just gonna be me playing through it solo, but you guys can of course come chat and ask questions and learn how to play and stuff like that. But in case you didn't know, I'm doing Marvel Champions playthroughs every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Central European time, so yeah. I really like that game. It's one of my favorite solo games, and because it has so many different heroes and villains and aspects to show, I feel like that one remains interesting for people to watch as well, so they can kind of see all the different options. So thank you guys, have a great evening, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye everybody!